Okay, here we go, recording. Here is the fourth video for standard RNCN, which stands for Real Number System and Complex Number System. Remember, the review document that's on OneNote, all the concepts that are on here is not all-inclusive of all the concepts and things you need to study to prepare yourself for the final exam for second semester, spring 2019 in Math 2. Here we are for this fourth video. We're just going to multiply these two complex numbers. They are now binomials. Look at the difference here. What is the instruction that's happening? What's the math instruction right there? Multiply. The previous video I did was 7th period yesterday. What's the mathematical instruction right there? Addition or subtraction. Those instructions means do different things. Okay, in this case it means double distribute. Now remember, I is just like a variable x, so treat it like a variable. So let's do double distribution or FOIL, whichever one you want to call it. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times negative I is just negative 1i. I times 2 is just plus 2i. Now here's the big one. What's positive I times negative I? That's right, negative I squared. Do we remember what I squared equals? I squared, by definition, is negative 1. So I'm going to take just this part, subtract a negative 1. Still got a little bit of cough left over. So I got 2. What's minus I plus 2i? Isn't that plus 1i? And what's subtracting a negative 1? What happens to these two negatives? That becomes plus 1. So you got one more step. 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay? So every single time you're multiplying these imaginary numbers like this, it's going to reduce down to 2 terms every single time. So let's go over here. Got a little bit bigger numbers. Let's race through this. That's 15 minus 18i plus 20i. And what's this last term going to be? Minus 24i squared, I heard. Good. Let's do this part right now. What's I squared? Negative 1. So what's it going to do to that negative? Make it positive. Okay? So there's 15. How about what's negative 18 plus 20i? Plus 2i. What's 15 and 24? Is that 39? Yeah. Any questions? Okay.